Hello, everybody. This is Yoko's Anime Reactions and Momo's team versus Kendo's team. Who will come out on top? Uh, you can either watch the reaction to find out, or you can listen to this to find out. Mm, Technically, you won't find out yet because the next episode covers the rest of the fight, but yeah. We actually get to see the next team fight, and obviously everybody is trying to strategize with their teammates, except Bakugo. But that's typical Bakugo fashion. He doesn't like working with teams. He wants to work alone. Which is not a smart idea, considering eventually he's going to run into something that he can't handle on his own, and he's going to need the rest of his team to, help in order to stop, like, let's say, stop a villain attack. Oh boy. Anyway. Yeah, in this episode we get to see what some of the other team can do. Apparently one of the other Class B team can create mushrooms. Don't ask me. Because that's how we saw of her before the episode ended. Mostly we saw the other guy, the one all dressed in black, because he can go through shadows. And, he ended up possessing Dark Shadow for a moment, causing him to attack Tokoyami, until thankfully Toru was able to, question. I know that there are mutation quirks out there. I'm assuming Toru's quirk isn't invisibility because that is a mutation quirk. Otherwise, she would have turned it off. At some point, we would have seen, what she really looks like. However, she can refract light because, she's not wearing the mirror. So how is she still able to do that? She has to have some other kind of quirk besides the mutation quirk, because Tokoyami's got a part mutation quirk, and that's the bird face thing. And yet he still has a quirk, which is Dark Shadow. And I'm sure there are other people out there with mutation quirks that could possibly have an actual quirk instead of just it being their mutation. So, suffice to say, it wouldn't surprise me if Toru actually has the quirk to reflect light. And, focus it like she does. Because being invisible doesn't really cause that. I don't think. If somebody could give me an explanation, please, that'd be great. But thankfully she's able to get rid of the guy because she uses that, the refraction thing to focus the light on Tokoyami, to focus the light on Dark Shadow and reveal the guy was inside. And during this episode, we get to see what Tokoyami's time interning and doing his work study with Hawks, how that went. Apparently, he was only wanting information from Hawks and from Tokoyami at first. And Tokoyami didn't like that, obviously, because, that's not fair. To only be asked to only be able to intern with someone only because they wanted information from you. And not because of, your skill or anything. Later on, because of this internship, we find out that Tokoyami's learned a new move, and that is his fallen angel thing. And I'm like, why didn't he not realize this before? I mean, I think he used something like this in the sports festival when they had to get over the robots. He used Dark Shadow to fly. Why did he not think of using that before? So yeah, that is exactly what he does. He flies, and grabs Aoyama from the shadow guy. I don't remember what his name is. I'm guessing his plan had been to grab Aoyama and drag him to where the cage is. That's what I'm assuming is what he was planning on doing. Thankfully, thanks to Tokoyami, they were able to thwart this. And with Aoyama's naval laser as well. Sadly, this ended up getting their Class B's Plan B started, which I have no idea what it is, but they now have mushrooms growing off of them and all over the place. So I'm assuming the mushrooms either make you fall asleep, hallucinate, poison you. I guess maybe all of the above, considering it's mushrooms, they can have different effects. Maybe that's what her quirk is. I don't know. I mean, otherwise, if it's just making mushrooms appear, I mean, it's not really much of a quirk for a hero. What it has to have, the mushrooms have to have some kind of ability. But yeah, this is how the episode ends. The fight's obviously not over, but that's gonna happen in the next episode. Because the episode after that is match 3. So it has to finish up next episode. And I love how everybody in the first fight essentially realized, what they needed to do better. Well, except Kaminari. He was just acting like he did all good and that everything. And I'm like, dude, you could stand to learn from your fights. Even if you win, you still can learn from your fights. Because obviously this does not go flawlessly. It had bumps in the road, so they obviously had a flaw in the fight, so they can learn from it. Anyway, I'm going to make another video and get this. I'll probably get the other video up first because it'll take time to get the My Hero Academia episode up and then get this up. So you'll see the other video first. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Come on.